Thank you, Nikki. And hello, everyone. It is great to be with you here today. It was fun to be at the virtual reception last night and spend yesterday with you all. The events of the last 2 years have made it very clear that companies and brands have a responsibility to both share owners and society to step up as both a force for growth and a force for good. P&G and our brands have indeed stepped up. When the pandemic hit, we have priorities. Ensure the health, safety, and well-being of our P&G colleagues around the world. Serve consumers by maximizing the availability of products to help them with their cleaning, health, and hygiene needs. Support communities in need and the people and relief workers on the front lines that are helping them. Now, P&G heroes have been the frontline manufacturing and distribution workers working round the clock to supply essential products. Our brands use our advertising to be useful by creating how-to content, such as how to sanitize surfaces for a clean, safe home. We offered free laundry services for frontline responders and virtual childbirth classes for parents. We've helped communities by expanding existing disaster relief operations to donate products, cash, and PPE to families in hard-hit cities, towns, and villages through 200 relief organizations. And we used our company's voice for fundraising events and public service campaigns to encourage hand sanitizing, social distancing, and mask wearing. The focus has been on helping others because being a force for good is about being useful. At the same time, the focus has been on delivering winning business results because being a force for growth is about creating value, and it's essential to having the means to help. We are a force for growth so that we can be a force for good. And this point is really important because being a force for good without growth is philanthropy. And there's nothing wrong with philanthropy, but we're a business, not a charity. Being a force for growth without doing good for society is also insufficient, as the majority of consumers now expect brands and companies to help contribute to society. So, driving growth enables doing good, and doing good must lead to driving growth. So it creates a virtuous cycle that's sustainable. Now, you all know this. This notion is not new. Just take a look at our statement of purpose. It's built in. Notice the second sentence. As a result, consumers will reward us with leadership sales, profit, and value creation, allowing our people, our shareholders, and the communities in which we live and work to prosper. Doing well to do good is in P&G's DNA. It's part of who we are. Now, today we're focused on areas which we call citizenship, where we believe P&G can create value while having the greatest positive impact. Community impact, equality and inclusion, environmental sustainability, supported by the foundation of ethics and corporate responsibility. And we've made a deliberate choice for these efforts to be built into how we operate, not bolted on as separate work or activities. The work is part of our winning strategies to help widen advantages across the elements of brand superiority, improve productivity, strengthen our organization, and lead constructive disruption across the entire value chain. Let's take Always and Whisper, for example. Now, you're probably familiar with Like a Girl, which launched in 2014 and ignited growth for the brand while literally changing the meaning of the phrase from an insult to a positive expression. But they've been doing a lot more, because since then, the team has deliberately integrated community impact, equality and inclusion, and environmental sustainability into how they build a brand. They stepped up during the COVID crisis to help communities in need, donating 21 million period products in 60 countries through more than 50 relief organizations. They donated 60,000 period products to communities like in Wuhan, where they expanded the Like a Girl campaign by celebrating the impact of women doctors and nurses who make up 70% of frontline healthcare workers in China. And the program reinforced the brand's product superiority, given the need for long-lasting protection. Now, to further promote equality and inclusion, Always has launched the End Period Poverty campaign, which they started in 2018. It uncovers the fact that up to 1 in 5 young women miss school during their period because they can't afford adequate period protection. When consumers purchase a pack, Always donates pads to schools to end period poverty. Nearly 60 million pads in 20 countries already, with a commitment to 100 million more.
School is full of lessons. And when you miss a day because you can't afford protection, when you're worried leaks will show and tissues overflow, so much more than maths is missed. It's friendship missed, keeping up missed, confidence missed, self-respect missed, discovering you could be anything you want to be missed, learning that failure is just a bump in the road missed, knowing what you love missed, not being afraid of your body as it grows up missed. Girls who can't afford protection should never have to give this up, because school is full of lessons and they shouldn't be missed.
Together we can help end period poverty. Now, when you buy Always Protection, we give product to help keep girls in school.
Who's got the answer?
Always.
This is a powerful way to use the brand's voice to directly help those in need with a superior product, create awareness of an important issue, build trust in the brand, systemically address the problem, and drive growth. Now, Always and Whisper also operate in a way that's congruent with what they say and do, with a diverse, equal, and inclusive organization. 50% women and 50% men among their brands, agencies, and commercial production crews, and a commitment to achieve 40% racial and ethnic representation in the countries in which they operate, particularly in the US. On environmental sustainability, consumers want superior protection, but they view the package and wrappers as plastic waste. So Always developed a package with a technology called Magic Paper, now rolling out in Europe.
Always trusted protection, taking care of you and the environment with 100% organic cotton top sheet in a fully recyclable paper pack. Always cotton protection.
Now, this is an example of meeting consumer needs for the core benefit of period protection while eliminating a trade-off that really bothers consumers: excess plastic packaging waste. And what's remarkable is that the Magic Paper is easier to use, more convenient, has a better design, delivers a superior retail experience, and it's recyclable, less wasteful, and lower cost. What's not to like? And you'll like the results too. Always and Whisper have been delivering sales and profit growth for 5 consecutive years. Clearly, a brand that's a strong force for growth, that's a powerful force for good. Now, Tide and Ariel are also good examples. Since 2005, after Hurricane Katrina, Tide Loads of Hope sends mobile laundry services to areas affected by disasters with a mission to clean clothes for families in need and give them a sense of normalcy. Loads of Hope has now done 68,000 loads of laundry. They've helped 90,000 people and counting, and is one of our signature community impact efforts. On equality and inclusion, Ariel is addressing societal norms in countries like India, where 95% of men and 75% of women believe that laundry is women's work. Consequently, 75% of children believe laundry is women's work. Ariel took on this generational bias with a breakthrough campaign, #ShareTheLoad, which inspires dads, sons, and husbands to share laundry duties. This campaign sparked brand and market growth, while changing norms in India about the role of equality in household work. And both Tide and Ariel are leaders in environmental sustainability. When consumers use our products, energy and water are used, and waste is generated in their homes, which leads to greenhouse gas emissions. Consumers want the best products while being environmentally conscious, but they're not always sure what to do. That's where our brands come in, with innovation needed to deliver superior products and packaging in an environmentally sustainable way. For example, 80% of a washing machine's energy consumption comes from heating the water, which creates carbon emissions in your home. Ariel and Tide have upgraded their formulas to clean clothes in cold wash conditions, decarbonizing laundry by lowering energy usage and emissions from homes and saving money on energy bills. However, education and awareness are needed to help change laundry habits to wash in cold. So the brands developed these campaigns. First one you'll see from Europe, and then the next 2 are from the US.
When you've got a seriously dirty load, do you dare to wash colder? With new Ariel pods, you'll be amazed at what you can get out at lower temperatures. Pod colder on greasy stains. Pod colder on tough stains. Pod colder for a hygienic clean. Ariel pods are designed to work on cold, saving you up to 60% energy. If we all wash colder in Europe, we could save as much CO2 as taking up to 2 million cars off the road. Aerial pods, pod colder, pod clean. Always close with a click-clack and keep away from children.
Iced tea, stone cold. Calling on everyone to turn to cold washing with Tide.
Hello, my name is Ice-T. Can you spare a few seconds to learn about cold water washing with Tide?
Hi, my name is Steve. Did you know washing in cold can save you $100 a year on your energy bill?
Why wouldn't you turn to cold? It helps the environment.
What? Because Stone Cold said so. Plus, Tide cleans great in cold.
This was a cold call. Iced tea, stone cold. Calling on everyone to turn to cold washing with Tide. Now with the help of NFL QB, Matty Ice. Here's a cold call.
Matty Ice who?
Matt Ryan, and I convinced NFL teams to turn to cold. I'm joining the cold callers.
That's 1 million pounds of laundry.
The NFL, you guys are filthy.
Tide can handle it, even in cold.
Kid is good.
How about it? Twice the ice.
No.
This was a cold call.
Now, you saw from that last spot that Tide has also joined forces with the U.S. National Football League to turn to cold. The NFL does 1 million pounds of laundry a year, and getting uniforms clean in cold water is a real torture test. But what's more powerful is that the NFL reaches 80 million fans. Turning to cold in 3 out of 4 loads would result in 16 billion loads of laundry washed in cold water and remove 5.6 million metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions from the atmosphere. That's the equivalent of taking a million cars off the road. That's an example of a powerful force for growth in business and a force for good in the environment. Now, beyond Tide, Ariel, Always, and Whisper, extensive work is going on throughout the company on both environmental sustainability and equality and inclusion. On environmental sustainability, Cascade is educating consumers to change habits by using their dishwasher more often to get superior cleaning and save water. Oral-B Click is a premium, durable, and reusable toothbrush that delivers superior cleaning and reduces plastic waste. It's awesome. You got to try this. Pantene and Olay are offering their superior products in premium refillable packaging. And Gillette is transforming its Europe business with superior performing products in paper packaging that improves the opening experience, creates a superior retail experience, and it eliminates plastic waste. We also promote system-wide change through company leadership. David Taylor leads the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. That's investing $1.5 billion to develop innovative solutions. We've partnered with the World Wildlife Fund, manufacturers, and governments to create the Renewable Thermal Collaborative to identify and scale energy solutions. And we've developed and licensed PureCycle to the entire industry. This is a technology that we developed that restores used polypropylene into pure recycled resin for reuse. On equality and inclusion, the breadth of work across the company is just as extensive, as we consistently use our advertising to help eliminate bias and promote equality. Olay's Face Anything and SK2's Change Destiny shattered gender stereotypes, myths, expectations, and attitudes. Dawn and Swiffer's Close the Chore Gap challenges men and boys to share household duties. Pampers promotes parents equally raising children. We promoted LGBTQ+ inclusion and visibility, with Vix and Ariel in India challenging mindsets about gender identity and societal norms. And Pantene in Europe provides visibility on the role of hair and personal identity, as 60% of LGBTQ+ people change their hair when they come out. We've used our voice to promote racial equality with the talk, the look, and the choice to support the Black community, along with the Estamos Unidos, empowering progress for the Hispanic community. And we're working on projects to support the Asian Pacific and Native and Indigenous American communities, all aiming to spark important conversations that lead to understanding, empathy, and action. And beyond advertising, we're leading as a company to drive systemic change. In Europe and North America, for example, we're investing in universal adoption of closed captioning for people who are hearing impaired and audio description of ads for sight impaired people to help people with disabilities have access to our advertising and be able to really make these products more accessible at the same time. Earlier this year, we also launched Widen the Screen. It's an expansive content creation talent development and partnership platforms that enables increased representation and inclusion of Black creators across the entire advertising and media industry. Now, our immediate focus is on Black creators, and we're reapplying to Hispanic, Asian Pacific, Native, and Indigenous communities, starting in the US and expanding to other countries over time. What this program does is it gives creators the opportunity to develop programming content that is then provided to Black-owned media companies, expanding the underdeveloped media ecosystem by providing these companies with programming for our brands to advertise on and, in turn, connect with them and build more business. Think of it as soap operas of the 21st century, where we create programming that reaches diverse audiences for our brands, so our brands can grow among these audiences. An investment in these companies not only creates more relevant and effective media to build our brands, it helps contribute economically to the communities, which means more purchasing power and market growth. That's the very definition of being a force for growth in business and a force for good in society. So to close, the breadth and consistency of these efforts across our brands and company yields one more benefit to doing well by doing good: P&G's reputation. P&G is consistently recognized as a company that gets it right. And a positive company reputation builds a foundation for our businesses. It builds trust among the consumers we serve and credibility with governments, NGOs, retailers, and others who advocate on our behalf. It attracts partners and innovators who want to work with us. It attracts the best people who want to work with our company. And it gives P&G people around the world enormous pride. But while recognition is nice, matters most is business results. More than anything, delivering growth and value creation gives P&G the credibility to do good and to make it sustainable. So I hope you found something useful for you to consider in whatever your endeavors may be today. And I hope that the work that we're doing makes you proud to be a P&G alumni, because our brands and people are making a difference and driving a lot of growth and doing a lot of good. Thank you.
Marc, terrific. Listen, I have a question for you. Before I do that, I'm gonna risk embarrassing you, so bear with me. We have a lot of great sponsors who help make this happen, help make the network happen, and you've seen those ads throughout the couple of days here. But you need to understand what this man, his team, his boss have done for this organization. So the one thing I miss of this remote thing is the applause you should get. So I'm gonna ask the crew. Everybody, I want some applause here. What do you think, all right? Outstanding. Now, Marc, clearly force for good, force for growth. There's synergies between what the company is doing and what the network is doing. Talk a little bit about how you're collaborating this year and plans for 2022.
Well, Ed, first of all, thank you for your kind and generous comments. It really is, P&G people who make this happen, which is why, it's so delightful to just be here with the P&G alumni, because, I told the story last night that, when I started with the company, when I got an offer from P&G, my dad, who was in marketing, said, "Whoa, that's the greatest company in the world." And what I found over time is that actually it's more than the greatest company in the world. It's great because of its people. That's what really makes it just such an amazing place to be. And they're the ones who create this great stuff, and including the P&G Alumni Network and including the foundation, which we've really had an opportunity to work together on, as you and Deb and Nikki and I and Patrick have spent some time on working on this program. Is that we've also looked at the foundation, which is really a remarkable organization, becoming an incredible U.S. charity. And so one of the things that we've decided to do just recently is we're going to be partnering with the foundation in 2022 on its successful fundraising campaign for gender equality. And it's going to be around International Women's Day. What we're going to do is we're going to match up to $50,000 any donations that are made to help the foundation give grants to nonprofits, particularly in the area of economic empowerment, gender equality, and also, helping and support women and their families and their communities. So it's a great congruence between what the company is doing and what the network is doing with the foundation.
You know, over the last year, I've probably thanked Marc 400 or 500 times. So add one more to that. Thank you so much. It's very generous, very generous.